This video is sponsored by EnvatoElements. A dazzling comet is headed our way and will most certainly outshine even the brightest stars in the night sky. The comet is named C/2023 Tsuchinshan-ATLAS. There are three reasons why this comet is such a big deal. First, it could end the long wait for a comet visible to the naked eye, as it's expected to be much brighter than Comet Neowise, which lit up our skies in 2020. Second, as the comet gets closer to the Sun, its icy core will heat up, creating a beautiful tail that could stretch across the night sky. Finally, the comet will favor the viewers in the northern hemisphere. The last time an exceptionally bright comet was visible from the northern latitudes was in 1997, when Comet Hale-Bopp lit up the sky. In this video, I'll explain all the details of when and how to catch this cosmic visitor. Timing and planning ahead will be key, so make sure to watch the video to the end and subscribe for regular space updates. The story of this comet began on February 22, 2023, when it was spotted by the ATLAS telescope in South Africa. ATLAS is a robotic early warning system designed to detect near-Earth asteroids in advance and warn us if there's a possibility of impact. At the time of discovery, this faint object was between the orbit of Jupiter and Saturn. Upon further investigation, it was discovered that this same object had actually been observed earlier on January 9, 2023, by the Purple Mountain Observatory in China. Follow-up observations revealed that this object had a short tail and was designated a comet in honor of both discoverers. The name of the comet tells a lot about it. The letter C indicates that this is a non-periodic comet. These comets come from the distant Oort cloud and either pass through our solar system just once or take anywhere from 200 to thousands of years to orbit the Sun. 2023 A3 tells the time of discovery. Each month is divided into two halves labeled alphabetically: A for the first half of January, B for the second half, C for the first half of February, and so on. The accompanying number signifies the order of discovery. So 2023 A3 means it was the third such object discovered in the first half of January 2023. Finally, the name of the observatory, person, or telescope that discovered the comet is added at the end. At the time of its discovery, the comet was about 1 billion kilometers away and hurtling towards us at 80 kilometers or 50 miles per second. Since then, Comet Atlas has been closely monitored, and almost every source has concluded that it will definitely put on a promising show in the coming months. Just like how this comet will soon transform our view of the night sky, you can transform your creative ideas into reality. Imagine having the power to bring your ideas to life with just a simple text prompt. That's where EnvatoElements comes in. It's the world's most popular AI video creator, with over 10 million users across 150+ countries. It's the only AI video creator out of the 20+ tools that I've tried that puts you in the driver's seat and works as your personal sidekick. Start with a simple text prompt, and it creates the first draft for you.
Imagine standing at its base looking up. You'd need some really good binoculars.
You can regenerate or give commands for specific changes. Want to add subtitles? Done. Want to translate your video into French? Done. You can even clone your voice to narrate the video in any language, offering immense creative freedom. While you can try it for free, the $20 a month plan unlocks features like voice cloning and high-quality stock footage. Use the link and my code in the description to double your video credits in the first month. Many see AI as a threat to jobs, but I see tools like EnvatoElements as opportunities to enhance skills and realize projects that were once out of reach. Now back to spotting the comet. Let's break down its visibility and trajectory month by month. Comet A3 has remained beyond the naked eye limit of 6 throughout August. In astronomy, the brightness of an object is denoted by a number called its apparent magnitude. The smaller the number, the brighter the object. By the end of August, Comet A3 will brighten to a magnitude of 7. It will enter the orbit of Venus on September 2nd. However, from Earth's perspective, the comet will pass behind the Sun and begin to appear in the pre-dawn skies of the southern hemisphere. The observation window is short, but offers a good chance to capture the comet's tail. Between September 25th and October 2nd, it will also become visible in the morning sky for those in the northern hemisphere. So overall, in September, you can get a faint view of Comet A3 as it enters the inner solar system. On September 27th, the comet will make its closest approach to the Sun, known as perihelion. It will come within 58 million kilometers, or about 36 million miles of the Sun, near Mercury's orbit. After its perihelion, the comet's altitude in the northern hemisphere's dawn skies will drop, and it will temporarily disappear from view. Our best views of A3 will come when it moves up into the evening sky around October 10th. Around October 12th, when the comet makes its closest approach to Earth, it will be at its brightest, possibly reaching a magnitude of up to -3. That's brighter than any star in the night sky. During this time, Comet A3 will be relatively high above the horizon in the evening sky, making it ideal for viewing. Throughout October, this celestial visitor will keep rising in the evening sky. However, after October 12th, its brightness will gradually decrease. In November, Comet A3 will dim slightly, ranging from a magnitude of 4.5 to 8, but it will still be visible in the evening sky. For observers in the northern hemisphere, A3 will rise higher after sunset, offering continued opportunities for observation. In December, as the comet's magnitude decreases to between 8 and 10, it will gradually move closer to the Sun in our sky, appearing lower on the horizon. By this time, the comet will no longer be visible from the southern hemisphere. For the next 20 years, it will be moving toward the edge of the solar system and will not return for another 26,000 years. There are two important windows that will decide the comet's fate and the view of this celestial visitor. The first is around September 27th, when it reaches its closest point to the Sun. During this period, it may break apart under the impact of the high temperature. If you're an avid sky gazer, you must remember a rather disappointing event 12 years ago. Comet Izon. Officially designated C/2012 S1, Comet Izon was initially heralded as the comet of the century due to its anticipated brightness and spectacular display as it approached the Sun. Discovered in September 2012, it captured the imagination of astronomers and the public alike, with predictions suggesting it could become one of the brightest comets visible in modern times. However, as Izon neared its perihelion, expectations began to shift dramatically on November 28, 2013. Observations indicated that the comet was losing mass and undergoing significant changes in its structure. In the hours leading up to perihelion, it became apparent that Izon was disintegrating under the intense heat and gravitational forces exerted by the Sun. Studies revealed that the comet's nucleus likely broke apart about 3.5 hours before perihelion, resulting in a rapid loss of brightness and visibility. While some Izon remnants did emerge from the perihelion passage, they were significantly dimmer than anticipated. Instead of the brilliant display that had been forecasted, what remained was a cloud of dust rather than a cohesive nucleus capable of producing a bright tail. However, in the case of Comet A3, the situation is different. Izon passed about 1.1 million kilometers, or 724,000 miles above the Sun's surface. Comet A3's perihelion is at more than 50 times that distance, so it's unlikely that A3 will have a similar fate as Izon. The second critical window for Comet A3 is between October 9th and 12th. During this window, the comet will pass between the Earth and the Sun, and a physics phenomenon known as forward scattering may skyrocket its apparent brightness. Forward scattering happens when sunlight passes through the dust and gas around a comet, and instead of bouncing off in all directions, the light gets pushed forward in the same direction it was originally traveling. For comets, when Earth is almost directly in line with both the comet and the Sun, We get to see this extra brightness. This makes the comet appear much more luminous from our perspective, even if it's not usually that bright. It's a bit like catching a comet with its headlights turned on, aimed right at us. A classic example of forward scattering is this image of Saturn captured by NASA's Cassini probe. Here, Saturn eclipses the Sun as seen from Cassini. The forward scattering of light makes the faint outer rings more visible. From October 9th to 12th, Comet A3 might reach a remarkable brightness of up to -3 magnitude, thanks to the effect of forward scattering. To put this in perspective, Comet Hale-Bopp, one of the most widely observed comets of the 20th century, had a peak magnitude of -1.8. In comparison, the green comet E3 ZTF, which gained popularity at the beginning of 2023, reached a magnitude of 5.4. The famous Neowise comet peaked at 0.9. This makes C/2023 A3 a potentially extraordinary sight for skywatchers. In the days following October 12th, the visible tail of the comet will start to grow quickly. After October 19th, once the moon is no longer in the evening sky, the comet's tail will likely be visible under dark skies. This tail could stretch up to 20 degrees across the sky, which is about 40 times the size of the full moon. So to summarize, if you want to catch an early glimpse of the comet, start looking for it in the morning sky at the end of September. It will be visible very low on the horizon just before sunrise. On September 27th, Comet A3 will make its closest approach to the Sun. At this time, the comet's brightness could range from a magnitude of -1 at best, making it easily visible, to a magnitude of 4 at worst, which would be barely visible to the naked eye under very dark skies. After this close encounter with the Sun, A3 will disappear from view briefly, reappearing in the evening sky in early October 2024. It will remain visible in the sky until the end of the month. However, after October 12th, it will start to fade rapidly and won't be visible to the naked eye by the end of October. This comet has the potential to become the next great comet, a term used to describe comets that are so exceptionally bright that they capture the attention of even casual observers who aren't actively looking for them. These comets often become widely recognized outside of the astronomical community, making headlines and sparking public interest. The last comets to earn this title were Hale-Bopp in 1997 and McNaught in 2007, both of which put on spectacular displays. What makes A3 particularly intriguing is its potential brightness and visibility. If it reaches the predicted magnitude of -3, it will outshine even the brightest stars in the night sky, making it hard to miss. Earlier, there was a concern that Comet A3 might be breaking apart. The comet stalled out and faded in April and May after steadily brightening during the winter. In an article published this July, astronomer Zdeněk Sakanina suggested a disintegrating nucleus could be behind the dip in brightness. However, other comet observers beg to differ. They attributed this observation to the opposition effect in orbital dynamics. An object is said to be at opposition when it lies opposite the Sun with the Earth in the middle. In this configuration, the object is fully illuminated as seen from Earth. For example, when the Moon is fully illuminated by the Sun, it appears brighter to us on Earth because of a special effect called shadow hiding, along with some other factors. The same thing happened to Comet A3 briefly when it was in a similar position. However, once the comet moved past this point, it started to look dimmer. Even though the comet was getting closer to the Sun from late May through late July, it was also moving farther away from Earth. This made it look fainter for a while, which might have made some people think something was wrong with it. Comets are notoriously unpredictable, and many factors influence their brightness and visibility as they approach the Sun. These include the comet's composition, the angle at which sunlight hits it, and the behavior of its coma and tail. For now, it is healthy and promises a great show. As we approach autumn 2024, astronomers and skywatchers alike will be eagerly monitoring Comet A3, hoping for a performance that lives up to its potential. If all goes well, this comet could be one of the most memorable celestial events of the decade. So happy sky gazing, And make sure to check out the link in the description for in-video AI and bring your ideas to life with a single text prompt.